What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So as you might be aware, recently I've been going over some secrets of the Pokemon anime that were detailed in a novelization written by Takeshi Shudo, the anime's original head writer. Now in those past two videos, I covered a broad range of details, but in the climax to this miniseries, I'm going to hone in on one really interesting detail in particular, and then add a theory on top of it. So this video will be half fact, half theory. Now with all of that out of the way, let's get started. So in order to set up the theory, we'll need to go over the fact part first, but trust me, it's fascinating, and it actually has to do with the transferring of Pokemon. I'm sure you'll recall at certain points throughout the anime where we see Ash transferring his Pokemon to Professor Oak and sometimes to other trainers, in a sort of Pokemon-centric instant messaging service. The general and logical assumption is that this is achieved through advanced technology, but the anime novelization tells us otherwise. The Chapter 4 appendix states that the ability to transfer Pokemon was discovered by accident when a child accidentally sent a Pokeball with a Pokemon inside through the fax machine, and it actually went through. This caused a bit of an uproar, and after an investigation, it was determined that it was the Pokemon that made this possible. The study showed that all Pokemon have the ability to convert themselves, and whatever container they might be inside, be it a Pokeball, a bag, etc., into electrical signals which allows them to be transferred. However, this can be dangerous for the Pokemon as they can be lost in the transfer if it isn't made through a reliable connection, so transfers are only allowed with secure connections inside official establishments like the Pokemon Center. Now obviously this is all very fascinating, but where does the theory come into play? Well, a big part of this whole situation is the Pokeball. Pokemon and Pokeballs both go hand in hand, sometimes literally, and the way that Pokeballs store Pokemon has been a hot point of discussion for almost as long as Pokemon has been around. Many people have suggested that Pokeballs offer a sort of mini habitat for Pokemon, but with this new information I think I've figured out something a little bit more likely. Since Pokemon have the innate ability of converting themselves into electrical signals, I believe that the Pokeballs are using their technology to trigger this ability in order to store the Pokemon inside in their electrical signal form. This would explain why the anime shows Pokemon being turned into a sort of red light when being brought into their Pokeball. Now, the next question to tackle is, what exactly are these electrical signals that Pokemon turn into? Well, in short, I believe it's infinity energy. Infinity energy is, well, an energy that could fit the general description that is being described as an electrical signal in the book. Additionally, infinity energy comes from the life force of Pokemon, so it would make complete sense that Pokemon could convert themselves back into their base form, and it just so happens to tie in Pokeballs perfectly. One of the major developers of Pokeballs is the Devon Corporation, and as we learned in ORAS, the Devon Corporation did a lot of research and development into infinity energy. Because of this, I think it stands to reason that they were fully aware of AZ and the Ultimate Weapon, which used the life force of Pokemon as its power source. This life force later became infinity energy thanks to the Devon Corporation, and I believe that they sort of reverse engineered the technology of the Ultimate Weapon to, instead of using the life force of Pokemon, they made it so they could convert Pokemon back into that life force with the Pokeball for easier storage, and in turn made the Pokeball easier for Pokemon to transfer along with them. And that was the secret ability of Pokemon with a little bit of theory added in for good measure. With every video in this series, I've had to add in the disclaimer that it's really up to you whether or not you consider this canon because it comes from such an obscure source. But this detail in particular was just so fascinating and it made for a really good theory, so I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this fact and what you think of the theory. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I upload great Pokemon content every Tuesday and Saturday. Anyways, with all of that being said, I will be back with another video soon, and as always, I'll smell you guys later.